Welcome to my channel, the D Spot. In today's spotlight, we're going to make stuffed pitas with a spiced chickpea salad and a marinated chicken breast. We're going to stuff that in a pita, and the flavors are absolutely amazing. Let's get it done. First things first, let's go ahead and make our dressing for our salad, for our chickpea salad. And so the ingredients for our dressing, what we have here is 1.5 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. We're going to zest a half of a lemon. We got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. In this glass, we got 1 tablespoon of sugar. We got a ½ teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper. And then we're also going to use about a tablespoon of this garlic paste. And so the simplest thing to do, all we're going to do is combine all of our ingredients in this jar, and then we're going to shake it, and then we're going to let it sit for 20 minutes because we want these flavors to develop. So once we got all of our flavors all put in the jar, and all we're going to do is just shake it up. Simple as that. And there we have our dressing for our chickpea salad. Again, make sure we let this marinate at least for about 20 minutes or until you lose patience. There we have it. Now let's talk about the star of the show, our chickpeas. What we have here is a 15.5 ounce can of chickpeas. And the spices that we're going to use on our chickpeas, we got 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1.5 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of ground cardamom, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And what we want to do is we're going to put our chickpeas, we want to make sure they're kind of wet, and then what we're going to do is put our spices on our chickpeas, like that. And then what we want to do is just kind of swirl them around, get them all absorbed in those spices. So after we've done that, even you can use your hands. So after we've done that, what we want to do is we want to heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil in a large pan over high heat. And we're going to fry the chickpeas for a couple of minutes, all right? And so as we're frying, we want to make sure we shake the pan so that the chickpeas really adhere to these spices. All right, so now that we got our chickpeas covered with our spices, what we're going to do now is heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil into our pan here. About 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. Make sure that gets hot. Looks now like our pan is up to temp. And so we're going to add our chickpeas. And if you don't hear that sound, you're not in business, because basically if you don't hear that sound, your chickpeas are going to steam instead of fry. And so remember, you just want to swirl them around for a few minutes and let those spices adhere to those chickpeas. Guys, this smells absolutely amazing. So once we've got our chickpeas covered in our spices and cooked for a couple minutes, what we want to do is just transfer them into a bowl, and let them cool slightly. Let them cool slightly. Next step, we're going to make our salad. Next, let's talk about our salad ingredients. What we can use here, the recipe calls for is 2 English cucumbers diced. But what I used here is what's called mini cucumbers. Some people call them Persian cucumbers. And I used 6 small ones and I diced them. Then here we have 3 medium tomatoes diced, 1 small red onion diced, 1/4 cup of cilantro, and 1/4 cup of parsley. And what we want to do is just simply put all these ingredients in a bowl. Then once we get them all in a bowl, we're just gonna mix them. We're gonna use some of our dressing that we made, which is marinated now more than 20 minutes. Once we got that all in there, we're just gonna mix that gently, just like that. That dressing is so good. And we're gonna pour just a little bit of that dressing right here on our salad. And once we get our salad all mixed up with our dressing, then comes the star of the show, those spiced chickpeas. So that looks pretty good. Next thing we're gonna do is gonna drizzle a little bit of our homemade dressing right over our salad mix here. Just a little bit. Just like that. Give that a mix. This smells absolutely amazing. That dressing, I'm telling you. So once we get that well combined, it looks like that's pretty well combined. Now we're going to add those spiced chickpeas right on top of that salad. And they've cooled down enough that where we can add them. That's why we have to cook them first and let them cool a little bit before we add them to our salad. So that looks good. Now let's add our spiced chickpeas. Right to the top, just like that. We can give that a gentle mix to get that well combined. And once we get this well combined, we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to get our marinated chicken ready. And then we're going to stuff those pitas. That looks absolutely amazing. Just a little bit more dressing. We'll save a little bit just in case we want to put some on our pita. Even if you didn't use the grilled chicken, this is vegan friendly. You can just stuff a pita with this spiced chickpea salad, and it would be absolutely amazing by itself. So there we have it. There's our spiced chickpea salad. Next, let's cook marinated chicken breast. Now this marinade is phenomenal, and I'll leave the ingredients for this marinade in the description box below, along with the rest of the ingredients as well. And so what we want to do is we want to get this on a medium-high heat, and I like to use avocado oil because it has a high smoke point. And so we want to put about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil in our pan and get that up to temp. And then we're going to cook our chicken breast once this gets up to temp. So let's go ahead and get our chicken breast in our pan here. It's up to temp. What I did with my chicken breast is I cut them in half so they would cook more evenly and faster. I'm going to cook about 3 at this one time. And we're going to cook those for about at least 5 minutes per side. Now once we've got a nice sear on one side of our chicken breast, after about 5 minutes, we're going to flip those over. And look how good that looks. This marinade is phenomenal. It smells absolutely amazing. So now we want to cook the other side for about 5 minutes. Now our chicken is done, so we're going to remove it from the pan. We want to let it rest for about 15 minutes. Looks amazing. Look at that. We're going to let that rest for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to slice it, and we're going to assemble our pitas. Now it's time to assemble our pitas. What I've got here is some flatbread pita that I warmed up. And so we're going to go ahead and put some of our chicken in here, this marinated chicken. Be generous, don't be stingy. pieces there. Then we got our spiced chickpea salad. I'm gonna put right in there as well. I'm telling you, you can just use this alone in a pita. You don't even need the chicken. Look at that. Look at that. Just fold that over like that. Doesn't that look good? Look at that, guys. Well, let's take it to another level. Let's put some of that dressing on here. Drizzle that a little bit over the dressing. And now, let's see what we got.